There are people posing as Amazon drivers to rob and assault Americans, and today I want to tell you not only how you can prevent yourself from being a victim of this crime, where it's happening, how it's happening, and also how the policies of one mayor in Denver are contributing to issues just like this. And of course, I want to give you just some simple things that anybody can use as a tool to protect yourself from this type of crime. And of course, I want to hear your opinion because I'm going to give you mine. No matter if you agree or disagree, let me know what you think down below after the video. If you like what I do, consider subscribing. Let's go and get into it. Now, let's go ahead and watch the video here really quick. Caretaker, 2 kids were home. Person in the bright yellow vest, as soon as the caretaker opens the door, boom, goes in. 2 people with guns go in behind them. They do their thing. They come back out. They drive away. Now, apparently they robbed and assaulted the teenage daughter that was there at the time. Now, one of the first things you'll notice is that they don't speak any English. Well, they're a part of the 7 million Venezuelans that have come here. Now, I did a video just a couple of days ago covering all of that, how that all started as well. So I'll let that video stand on its own, but it's got a lot of great information. But just know that this issue with asylum seekers has bled into cities all around. And unfortunately, this one comes out of Aurora, Colorado as well. And even more unfortunate, there are gangs that are tied to these Venezuelans as well. The Tren de Aragua, I think I'm saying that right now, maybe. But anyways, who cares? They're bad people that are here that weren't vetted. We have no idea who these people are. And just, yeah, okay, you're seeking asylum, come on in. Well, unfortunately, those people are here. Now, Aurora actually didn't want anything to do with the migrants that were going to Denver. Now, Greg Abbott out of Texas said, hey, look, you're not going to close the border? Fine. We're going to take these migrants and Venezuelans and these people from other places, and we're going to ship them to cities that are sanctuary cities because y'all love open borders. Boom, there you go. Well, Aurora said, hey, Denver, that's your problem, basically. Like, we don't have the money nor the places to put these migrants, so, you know, we can't help you. But of course, this stuff always spills over into neighboring cities. There's no way to contain it. And that's exactly what's happened here. So not only are they taking over apartment complexes and either extorting money from citizens that live there or even forcing Americans out of their homes altogether, but now they're posing as Amazon drivers to gain your trust. Now, some of the policies that the mayor in Denver put in place are actually exacerbating this issue. One of the things he did by taking on 38,000 migrants so far, roughly, earlier this year is he cut a bunch of funding for the city to house a lot of these migrants. He cut about $5 million in taxpayer-funded things. For instance, the Department of Motor Vehicles, right? They're going to close branches, certain branches, I think it's 4 of them, for a week at a time to offset costs. Also, if you want to register your vehicle, you can't go to the DMV. Now, I know people hate going to the DMV, I get that, but still, those are services that you and I pay for. So they're going to close those places for a week at a time. You can't register your vehicle. Also, any kind of parks that are open 7 days a week are now 6 days a week. Any parks that were 6 days a week already now have reduced hours. Also, if you want to apply for a permit for a special occasion, a wedding, a tournament, any number of things that bring together a large group of people, those permits and applications will be put on hold. And the first-term mayor, Mike Johnston, said, hey, you know, this is basically a small sacrifice for all of us to make in order to house these migrants. It's not their fault that they came 3,000 miles. You know, Greg Abbott, you know, just basically inhumanely dropped them off in our city, and we now have to take care of them. So I guess at least he's sticking to his values, but at the same time, he's taking services and money away from people that live in Denver or live in the state of Colorado in general, right? You pay for those services. Those services are being taken away or diverted to pay for people that shouldn't be here. Now, there's nothing wrong with immigration when it's done the right way, right? When people are vetted, they go through the process. You make sure they conform to our values and our morals, right? I mean, because we may not share a lot, but we do share a certain set of values in this country, whether you want to believe it or not. I understand that we're losing a lot of that, but at the same time, for a long time, we've shared a certain amount of morals and values in this country. When you bring people in, you have no idea what or who they are actually beholden to. So while the mayor in Denver is using your money to house people that should not be here, to also take away resources from schools and everything else, Aurora said, no, we're not diverting funds away, and we are not taking over your migrants. Now, like I said, that's bleeding over into Aurora, and it is causing a strain on the school system as well. Now, Colorado ranks fairly highly when it comes to overall school systems, but not everybody is like that. Not everywhere is that good when it comes to schools, right? Overcrowding is an issue. So if your kid goes to the school and there's also kids, again, nothing against them, nothing against those kids at all. They have no idea why they're here, how they're here, they're just here, right? So it's not their fault. But again, time is being taken away from your child to learn because of the irresponsible parents that came here. And like I said, they're fleeing a country that is awful. I get that totally, but we have a country here, right? We have to take care of our own. That is the biggest problem that you see here. So time is being taken away from your children to learn, right? You know, if you're a parent, just like I do, that time is precious. It's crucial. It's very short, right? It seems like a long time, but it's really not. And they need the most amount of time that they can get while they're there. And that time is being stripped unfairly from them. And Aurora is having to pay the consequences. So hopefully, again, this is amongst one of those lessons that we all can take from this and vote the right way. Vote for people that are willing to protect our children, because Greg Abbott said he's not dealing with it. He's not going to allow people to overrun his state, rightfully so. He's going to send them elsewhere, and now you're starting to see this issue bleed throughout. And hopefully it is a learning lesson when you go to the ballot box, especially this November, that you vote for people that will close the border, that will protect it and allow people to come in the right way. So how can you protect yourself, though, from this happening? The first thing I'll say is if you're home, right, we all have Ring cameras and cameras of some kinds now, and unfortunately, it does not divert people away. Now, I did find a new security system that I'm looking into. It's through CPI. They're probably not the only ones that have it, though, to be honest with you. But actually, it sets off an alarm. It's like red and blue lights, and it has floodlights attached to it. They're kind of expensive, but you know, they do them on payment plans just like cell phones now. And so essentially what happens is they do 24/7 monitoring for that. This is not a sales pitch, by the way. I'm telling you something I'm interested in. I'm actually looking at doing this. And so anyways, they monitor it all the time. If it goes off, the floodlight goes off. And then if they see something suspicious, the lights start going off. So that's a great way to divert people. Dogs are another way to divert people. They don't want to deal with dogs. Even having a security sign in your front yard, just the sign, is a diversion from people targeting your home, right? If you look like a soft target, unfortunately, public schools, right? We hear about these things happening where guns are not allowed or where protection looks weak. That's where people will hit. So just having a sign actually is a great deterrent. Unfortunately, cameras are not that much of a deterrent anymore. Dogs, good security systems, active security systems. Also, tell them to leave the package at the door. If they insist on giving you a package, hey, it's got to be signed for. Well, who's it from? If it doesn't sound like anybody familiar, well, now you know there's potentially something wrong with this situation. But even if it does sound like something familiar, okay, that's fine. I'll just come pick it up at another date. I can't come to the door right now. Or you can tell them you're cleaning your guns. Hey, cleaning my guns, can't come to the door right now. Whatever you need to tell them. That's a joke. But you don't have to answer the door for them, right? And if they insist, you probably know something is not right. I've seen Amazon many times in my neighborhoods, in other people's neighborhoods, and they are about getting in and out. Right? They drop the package, take a picture, boom. If you don't see a scanner or a cell phone or something like a little PDI type of thing in their hand, some kind of device, And if they're trying to stick around a little bit longer than they should, you know there's a problem, because Amazon, boom, they get out and they're back in their trucks. And besides that, answering the door with your gun in your hand. Some people are going to say, oh, that's extreme. Well, not really. Obviously, this is why I've talked a lot about this. I've talked about this extensively on my channel, right? You can look at my channel and find a number of different topics related to concealed carry and all of that. But when I answer the door for somebody I don't know, unless it's DoorDash, and sometimes even when it is DoorDash, I make sure I have my gun right there, because it doesn't hurt us at all. DoorDash is a little more sketchy because, you know, oh, hey, how's it going? Oh, you know, you kind of put it. But some people, you can do that. It's your home, right? If you're going to answer the door for somebody you don't know, which I don't do. I do not do it. I have a no soliciting sign on my door. So if somebody is at the door and they're just sitting there and they're waiting, unless I know them, either I'm not answering the door, which is 99% of the time, or in that rare occasion, I will answer with my gun in my hand. They never see it. It's behind the door, right? So it's not like I'm trying to scare a neighbor away that maybe I've never met. You know, it's always behind the door. But it is a safety precaution. It's just like having your gun just available to you when you're walking to your car in the morning or late at night or coming home from work. If you're in traffic, right? It's going to start getting darker sooner, right? You're going to be in traffic. People will come up to your car. This stuff happens, and this is why I continue to point out these types of stories in hopes that you will realize, man, they're using all kinds of schemes to potentially hurt Americans, and that's what I don't want. And that's why I keep kind of bringing in these real world scenarios so you have an idea of what people will do and the lengths they will go to hurt you. That's what I don't want to see. So no matter if you agree or disagree with my opinion, leave that down below. And again, check out that video I did just a couple of days ago on this issue of Venezuelans that have come into our country and the gangs associated with them. If you like what I do, consider subscribing. See you in the next one. And as always, hold them down.